What's poppin'? Welcome back to Midwest World. It's the Tubecast. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the content. Really appreciate it from everybody. You know what it is. Greatly appreciate it. Check the topic at hand. The NBA Street Series should return. I think this is a no-brainer. NBA Street, no-brainer. No-brainer. They did not put out one bad game. Even the home court and the showdown, right? Because see, home court came out on PSP. Now, if anybody know about the home court or NBA Street showdown, my bad, I'm sorry. It's showdown, not home court. Home court was 360. Showdown was PSP, right? That one, they had an exclusive character in that game and everything. It had the same soundtrack as NBA Street Volume 3, but it was different enough from it, though. It was still his own game. That game was fire, man. Straight up. And home court, that game, they kind of switched up the formula, but that game was still good, though. You know what I'm saying? It was good. You know what I mean? So there's not one whack NBA Street game. Not one. You know what I mean? They did their thing with that series, man. And that's something that I feel like is needed in today's game, especially due to the fact that there's some that just don't like Sims. You gotta understand, back in the days, you had variety because it's like this. You got some that's, I don't want to play the whole 5-on-5. I don't want to call plays. I just want to just have some fun, arcade style. That's where NBA Jam fit in at. You know what I'm saying? That's why NBA Jam was so popular. You know what I mean? Because anybody can pick that up and play it. You know, the Sims, anybody can't pick that up and play. You know what I'm saying? Because you got some that view games as what it is. Like, look, I just want to just have some, I ain't gonna say certain games is mindless fun, right? You know what I'm saying? You got strategy games, you got all type of stuff, you know what I mean? So some things is mindless fun, right? But for the most part, you got a lot of casuals. I just want to just come in and pick up a stick to have fun. That's where NBA Street come in at. Now, you still got to have some skill behind you a little bit to handle your business, but it's nowhere near like a Live or a 2K or something. You can just go in there. All you got to do is learn the shoot button, the crossover button, and a couple of special buttons, you know what I'm saying, as far as like, you know, special dribbles and things like that. Learn the steal and the blocking, and you straight. You know what I mean? And anybody can get in and come in and get busy. You know what I'm saying? So arcade games are sorely missed, you know, in this space. And that's what NBA Street is, arcade basketball. That's what it is. But it was fire, though. You know what I mean? They put their own twist to it. You know, so NBA Street is a straight-up classic franchise. Classic. NBA Street 1, you know, that one was fire. You know what I mean? That operated, NBA Street 1 was definitely fire. You know what I'm saying? The way they came in with it, you know what I mean? It was like, okay. It was a different twist on, like, you know, the arcade style of basketball. Even though it wasn't the fastest, it still holds up today, NBA Street, honestly. It was arcade, but it still has somewhat of a simulation speed to it in a sense, you know what I mean? A little bit, you know what I mean? But it wasn't like, NBA Street's not over the top like NBA Jam, right? It's not over the top like that. They found a good balance with the Street Series, right? To where it's a good pace, to where it feel like a nice, decent, realistic pace of basketball, but you got the high-flying moves, the handles, and things like that. You know, I always felt like they should have added, like, you know, them and1 players and stuff in there. I always felt like they should have did that. I mean, NBA Ballers had hot sauce in it, but I'm just saying, like, you know, and it makes sense. So I always felt like NBA Street should have added some and1 players and stuff in there and had, you know, things like that, acknowledging the and1 players and things like that. I always felt like they should have did that because it's right up there. It's like both worlds collide type stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, the NBA Street Series should definitely come back. I mean, I know they got that one basketball game that's supposed to be coming out this year. Haven't heard nothing else about it. Nothing. You know what I mean? But allegedly, you know, the NBA Street developers are making that game, but it's something about that game that's just, I don't know. I just want to see it first. You know what I mean? I want to see it first before I before I say anything, they saying the street developers is making this. So, I mean, that can mean anything, because you gotta understand, like, you've seen games where it's like, oh, the developers behind this game made it, which it could mean a couple developers, not the whole team. You know what I'm saying? And even if they did develop it, do they have access to that specific engine that they was using beforehand? Does EA own that engine? You know what I'm saying? Because you can develop it, you know what I'm saying? But if EA had the engine in place, I mean, I'm just saying, I don't, that to me just sound like a selling point. You know what I mean? That to me sound like a selling point. That don't mean it will play like Street. So that's a wait and see situation for me. You know what I mean? As it should be for anyone. It's a wait and see situation because you don't know what that game is gonna be like. You know what I mean? And that's not to knock it. It's just what it is, So that's anything to come out. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But the Street series, if they came out, like I've always said this, EA, even if they didn't want to come out with a sim, NBA Street, that would do numbers anyway. You know what I mean? Off rip. NBA Street would do numbers regardless. You know what I'm saying? If they came back out with that game, they don't have to worry about necessarily competing with a 2K. You know what I'm saying? That would be their space if they came out with that. Or NBA Jam, but we're not talking about Jam. We're talking about Street. So if they came out with Street, right? They both can coexist. You know what I'm saying? Just fine. You know what I mean? Because NBA Street handles the street part. And then look, EA, from what I understand, they got the rights to like the Drew League courts and all that. Fam, you do an NBA Street had the Drew League in it? No, come on, fam. They can get busy. In today's day and age, all those street courts, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to incorporate the full rosters because they never do. So you can, you ain't got to do all that. You can grab certain legends. You can grab street ball legends. You can even get these guys that's on the internet now. Seriously. You can incorporate the guys that's on the internet now. Like the Hezzy guys and those guys. You know what I'm saying? Devin in the lab and all that. You can get these dudes because that's more promotion. Lethal Shooter in them. I don't know if Lethal Shooter, he's in 2K, so I don't know if he'd be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? But maybe he could. I mean, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But you get these street ballers on the internet, you find a way to incorporate them in the game. You know what I'm saying? Because 2K Playgrounds, right? They had a couple influencers in their game, right? So you can incorporate those guys, the ones that ball like that. There's a lot of them too. So you can put the cats off the Instagram, TikToks and all that. You can put them in the game. That's more promo for your stuff. Even though NBA Street, NBA Street is solidified enough to do numbers, but you gotta understand that's still an older game. That came out, the last game that came out was the 360 home court. That was the last one, okay? There's still some cats that wasn't born when Street was out, believe it or not. Yeah, no, I don't mean to make you feel old, but that's what it is, okay? I don't like saying that, you know what I'm saying? Because but that's what it is. It's the truth, you know what I mean? There's some cats that was not born when home court was out. So you got some cats that was only born in the 2K era, which means that's all they know. So you do need these influencers and things like that to promote your product. That's getting with the times and stuff. So there's a lot they could do with the street. I mean, NBA Street, they can move mad. Like NBA Street, it's already set up for them to be successful. Online tournaments to be fired. You know what I mean? I'm quite sure the creative player will be out cold. You know what I'm saying? Now, home court fell off with the creative player. Street Volume 3 creative player was fired, okay? It was fired. Now, home court, I don't know what they was doing with that, but morphing faces and all that, I don't know what they was on. But they need to do away with that and have a deep creative player tool. Create a court feature. You put that up in there. Create a court, all right? The story mode, they campaigns ain't never really whack. So I mean, I'm not worried about what they'll do with the campaign, but the story mode, I mean, hey, they can really do something with that. They can do something with that. Now, what they should do if they was to come back, have it to where you can share upload your course and people can download your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Your core editor had that available online to where people can you can share it and people can download the court. That'd be hard. That'd be hard for sure. You know what I'm saying? Players, I mean, that's cool, but I feel like people more so would care more about the courts being shared. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got some that care about the players, but being shared, you know what I mean? But I don't know, in an arcade game, I don't know if that's really that deep. It's not like boxing and nothing like that. But court sharing, I think people will love that. You know what I'm saying? Just like I think you can, well, no, I don't want to say that. I was about to say, I think you can do that in golf. But I don't want to say that, you know what I mean? And put out wrong information. But if they was able to do that, that'd be fire right there. The online scene. The online scene would be crazy. Now think about this. Now this is it's competition now. It's comp. So it is what it is. So if they had their own hub, because that seems to be the thing now. It's like you gotta do things that cater to the online community. It is what it is. So if they had their own online hub, you know what I'm saying? That'd be fire. You know what I mean? Something similar to the park. It's something like, I mean, I don't know how they would do it. I would do something like, let me see. Have it to where it's like not like NBA, you want it to be like a real My Park situation, not no stuff where you going to the mall and skateboards. I have it set up to where it's really like you going up to the park. You know what I'm saying? And people out there playing basketball and the chain nets and all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Things like that, you can set it up like that. You know what I mean? You can make it different enough because obviously people like that stuff. So you can't get away from the fact that people like it. You know what I'm saying? As much as people complain about the My Park or whatever, they be all in My Park. All in My Park. So you can have your own situation to where a spot where you get online and roam around, have your own little world. You know what I mean? So, because it's street ball. So, I mean, you have your creative guy, and then you hit the certain parks. It's levels to this park. It's levels to that park. You know what I'm saying? All that. You can do all that stuff. These people can't drive out here. Let me tell y'all something. Don't be on your phone when y'all drive. Mind you, I'm not on my phone. You know what I'm saying? I got my mic attached. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Allergies. I got my mic attached. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking dead out the window. No phone in my hand. These cats be driving, looking down. In a moving vehicle. I don't understand this. But it is what it is. Anyway, they can have their own hub and do their thing. You know what I'm saying? I do feel that way. There's all type of things you can do with that. You know what I mean? I can't run it all down right now, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot you can do. Especially, you can do it different enough from what 2K is doing and make it to where it's not pay to play or pay to win or whatever, however you want to say it. That's what everyone says about it, that it's pay to win. I'm inclined to believe that, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been in there and it does feel that way. I'm going to just say that, you know what I mean? That's just it. But you do it to where it's realistic. You can have crews, I guess. I would do something when you have crews, you know what I mean? I would have it real street-like, you know what I mean? Keep it like that, you know what I'm saying? Have it to where it's real street-like, the street courts, certain all that, you know what I mean? There's things you can do where you have an online hub where people will go in and engage and communicate with one another and have tournaments and all that type of stuff. You can do that with NBA Street, you know what I'm saying? But I would keep it to where it's focused on street ball and not microtransactions, if you get what I'm saying, what I'm trying to say here. You know what I mean? Not riding around on scooters and none of that stuff. Keep it strictly based on street ball. You know what I mean? Hitting certain courts, getting your rep up. You know what I mean? Things like that. You know, have you nice, online hub, online community that, you know what I mean, that is strictly based on street ball. No gimmicks, just street ball. You know what I mean? And getting your rep up. I have it like that. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of gimmicks in my park and stuff like that. It is what it is. But you know, I would keep it straight to the roots when it comes to that. If they was to do something like that, and I think people will mess with it. I think people will rock with that mode. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the way gaming is now. They like online stuff. They do. They like online stuff. It is what it is. But NBA Street could definitely exist. They definitely can move units. But the key is to promote it. You know, have those influencers and things like that promote the game. Because you think about it, live night, was it 19 or 18? In the one mode, the story mode, you had certain influencers. I believe the one dude, I forgot his name. You know what I'm saying? Because he was doing a lot of basketball videos back in the day. You know what I'm saying? He'd be with Max is Nice and all that. But he was in the live. You know what I mean? After the game, man, doing news clips and stuff. You know what I'm saying? He was in it. So I mean, you got to incorporate them in that, and it was in the one mode. Basically, you know, the one mode shared, you know, pretty much the street ball element and the league. You know what I mean? So, you know, you want to incorporate those guys in there. You know what I mean? Get you a Duke Skywalker and all that. You know what I mean? Put those guys in the game. There's a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? So you put those guys in the game, that means they promote it on their platform. That's a bunch of eyeballs on it, you know what I'm saying? New cats that wasn't familiar with Street. You can it's always a plus to go back, you know what I mean, and put classic versions in the game, or put like a portion of the old school version in the game. That's never a bad move. Whichever Street you want to choose to put in there, I would probably say Volume 2, because that's the all-time creme de la creme classic of NBA Street. So if you want to make a playable version of NBA Street Volume 2 in there, you know what I'm saying, a call back there with maybe the modern rosters and things like that, or just you can play exhibition and things like that so people can get a taste of it. If they want to go back and cop the actual NBA Street Volume 2, they could, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of things you can do with NBA Street, you know what I mean? And due to the fact you don't have to use you can put the WNBA in there, all that. You can put the WNBA in there. You had a few WNBA players at home courts. So it's not like they don't use them. It's not like, you know what I mean, they foreign to using the WNBA. You can put the WNBA in there. You know what I'm saying? Angel Reese in them, Caitlin Clark in them, A.J. Wilson and all that. The legends, you know what I'm saying? Cheryl Swoops and all that. Lisa Leslie, you could throw them up in there. You could do all that. This is what I would do. I would have and1 Legends in there. Get your Escalades, you know what I'm saying? Get your Ray for all. You can have different versions of Ray for Austin, but, you know, Skip to My Lou, you know what I'm saying? AO and all that, you know what I mean? You get all them dudes, you know what I'm saying? You get all the and1 dudes, you know what I'm saying? I would have like the and1 Legends, Unlockable, or whatever the case is, you know, had them in there, Street Legends. You get your online ballers up in there. I would do that too. Get your online ballers up in there and things like that. You know, I had them up in there. WNBA players, I had them up in there. You know what I'm saying? You can do all kind of things with this. You can even, if you want to really, you know, get extra with it, you can put celebrities in there if you want to. You know what I'm saying? You can incorporate celebrities if you really wanted to and do stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just on some fun stuff. Nothing too crazy, because, you know, Street was doing that before. You had the same lunatics up in there. You know what I'm saying? They had characters in there. Nintendo exclusively had Mario and them up in there. So they could do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I think they had more artists in there too. I don't want to speak. I don't know who they was. I can't remember. I do know St. Lunatics, Nelly and them was up in there. You know what I'm saying? So you could do things like that, man. NBA Street would be fire. NBA Street, it'll be, and then guess what? It won't be a problem, because You know, if someone go get 2K, they get the street because it's a different twist. You know what I'm saying? They might want to take a break from that simulation. They want to go to the arcade and have some fun. Or let's throw in that street. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to deal with the headache of simulation and all that stuff. They want to go have some fun and stuff. So, and not saying simulation not fun. I'm not saying that because I think it's fun. But some people don't want to deal with the headache. You know what I'm saying? Of the realism. You know what I mean? They want to play some arcade stuff. So, I would say definitely come out with that. Even if they don't touch live ever again. Street, definitely. They could do so much with Street. They could do so much with Street, man. They could do so much. So that game is sorely missed. But the thing is, you know, like I said, the new generation may not be familiar with NBA Street. They may not be familiar with all that. So they may not. I still think it'll do well regardless, just because of the type of game it is. I think it'll do well. But, you know, it's been so long since Street came out. And like I said, you got to think about it. 2K, 25, 26 years. You got something that was born, like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's what it is. Like, you know, you got something that's just born, that was born, you know, that was born around just only 2K. So you got to do the proper steps and proper promotion for that, so they can see that and understand what it is. You know what I mean? And look, you can even put something in the game towards like a history lesson, even if you don't want to put like a playable version of any of the streets in there. You can do a rundown of the history of NBA Street as well to get newcomers up to date with it. Or put out like a little video on YouTube or something like that. Have a short video, about 5-6 minutes, breaking down the history of NBA Street to get people hyped up. You can do all that. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think NBA Street can come out and do some numbers, man. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to see it, man. So make sure you like, subscribe, share the content. I greatly appreciate everybody who slide through. I definitely appreciate it. Like I said, the subs is growing. I appreciate that 100%. Road to this 1K. And like I said, make sure I hit the request section. I'm going to bump it up soon so y'all can, you know, see it. But make sure you hit the request section. It's in the community post. It's in the post section. I try to be a little active in the post section. So make sure you go down, check out the request section. And if you want to see something, I do the best I can to play it for you. You know what I'm saying? So you can see it. I can't guarantee I can get to everything, but, you know, make sure you hit that request section and hit that. That's the best way I could see it. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes if you leave in the comments, I may or may not be able to see that. You know what I mean? Or I may see it later, or whatever the case is. Because sometimes it don't send me the notification quick enough, or whatever the case. I don't know why. You know what I mean? It doesn't do that. I get some posts and I won't get notified. I get notified of certain posts. You know what I mean? So just hit that request section. That way I can see it. You know what I mean? And I can do the best I can to get to that title. You know what I mean? Whatever. Some quicker than others. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna do the best I can to play it. You know what I'm saying? For y'all. So make sure you like, subscribe, share the content. Greatly appreciate it from everybody. Peace.